Hello folks, Killface of Baylor here. The stats you saw there on the screen, you're welcome to rewind and pause if you'd like to see them. What we have here is a submission from another player, which is tanking AGGY, which as you can see is a 150 6-star boss, using a level 60 warrior, while also quad devicing, so the tank, whose perspective it's being filmed from, and also Eat Slugs, Weedhemption, and Resurrection are all being played by the same character, or by the same player, rather, all 4 characters at one time, which is quite impressive. And so we're going to look at what's involved in this tanking here. Again, you can pause the stats, or the stats will be shown later in the video as well, and you're welcome to pause there as well. Basically, the gear being used here is a flint breastplate. Quartz would be great if you could find that, but in this demo, it's not being done with quartz. And also, the pieces of lesser earthstone that add either defense or health. So that would be the helmet, the pants, and the shoes. The gloves are actually the level 60 Warden gloves, which in the case of Warrior is Blood Strike. The weapon is a Master Mace, I believe the Master Mace of the Crusher, which has 35 Vitality and 3 points to Protective Stance. You'll notice all the hot swapping going on. This would be impossible without hot swapping. There have been a lot of advancements in the game since AGGY was added, which is how this is possible. Also, you'll notice that the Druid heals for about 5,000 health, but it doesn't heal until the tank's HP drops down by about 5,000, and the reason is to not do what's called overhealing. Where, say, the warrior's health only dropped down 200 or 300, and they cast a 5,000 heal, there are thousands of health points being completely wasted, and maybe all the adds spawn at once, and the tank is taking a lot more damage all of a sudden right after that, or maybe the boss enrages or just happens to throw a hard-hitting skill, and it would be nice to suddenly use that extra, 4,800 health or whatever that you could have been healing, but instead you're stuck on cooldown because you've used your heal too early. So you don't want to use it so early that the tank is more dead than it needs to be, but you do want to use it at the right timing where you can bring the tank pretty much exactly back to full health. The pet is the boar. There's an argument to be made on something like Bloodthorn that does poison damage for why you might want the Poison Phoenix, but for a job like this, there's really no argument that the boar is pretty much the best pet for this situation. Not the pig that just came out, but the boar. The bear is being used for the tank pet, and you'll notice that the bear skill does not get used at the same time as Shield Wall, because those are basically the same skill. They overlap each other, and you've basically wasted one. So you want to time it so that one or the other is up, but not both. And normally you'd want to do the same thing with Shield Bash, where it is not being used at the same time as either of those skills. But in this case, Shield Bash is not being used because it's based on a character's level, and in order to tank something 90 levels above you, putting that many skill points would be a waste of gear. You need to max it as much as possible and also then add another 8 or 9 skill points or something like that from gear. So even with hot swaps on a level 60, it would be a bit of a waste when you can just tank the damage as shown here. So that's kind of the theory behind it. The DPS and Druid are obviously not level 60. The advancements in level cap and gear for the other characters in the raid is a big part of what allows this to happen, but it is worth noting that this is still an incredible show of skill. I could not myself do this or anything close while running 4 devices. So, huge thanks, by the way, to this player who I know as Elegance from Epona, for submitting this. Assuming that this raid that we're watching now actually succeeds, she's planning to try Hrung next, and so we'll get to see that. If not, then obviously they'll just send another video trying this again. Remember to like and share and subscribe so that you and the people you know get to see this impressive feat. And do thank Elegance in the comments. Okay, so you'll notice that the DPS switch off of Aggregoth to kill the worm tamers when they spawn. The reason for that is the worm tamers heal Aggregoth for 10,000 HP periodically. Each of them do. And so that's going to be a huge detriment to trying to get the boss down before it enrages. No one wants to try and tank an enraged Aggregoth on a level 60. Although now that I've said that, I'm sure Elegance will try it at some point. Yeah, anyway, if you're not using hot swaps, this is a good argument for why you should. And you'll notice the little golden ring that's in there now. It's not a skill point ring, which is why it's next to the bear skill. It's actually a defense ring used during the downtime when skills are not being used, right? The shield you see there on the back is, I believe, the crown, the Royal Shield of the Mountain. Whichever one it is the correct one. I went and verified, but it's been a day or two, so I've forgotten for sure that that's the right one. There are two that look like they could be right. One adds armor, vitality, and health regen, and one adds armor and elemental resists. You want the one with armor and elemental resists, and the reason is there is already a lot of gear present here that's adding to vitality, and the combination elixir being used is adding to health regen. The Warhorn skill that you see is adding health. So between all that, the big thing you're missing is some elemental resists to make sure that the elemental attacks of a boss aren't doing an unbelievable amount of damage. So this was, in fact, the correct choice, obviously. The necklace being used is a minor Guardian's Talisman. On a level 60, you can actually equip a lesser Guardian's Talisman, which would be a slightly superior choice, making this an even more impressive feat. So you'll be able to pause later when the gear is shown and check exactly which gear is being worn. I believe that the charm is a Mystic Charm of the Shatan, the Silverweb Charm, the Warrior Tank Charm, which, if I am correct on that, would add 3 points to Protective Stance and 3 points to Shield Wall, as well as some Vitality. And if I'm not correct, it's definitely that type, so it could be a minor or lesser variation of the same thing. So yes, I'm just very blessed and honored to be able to see something like this and do a commentary on it. Thank you again hugely to Elegance for sending this to me, and I hope you all enjoy it very much. If you have other things you'd like me to film, or if you'd like to submit videos for me to upload or anything like that, do let me know in the comments, or you can message me directly via the official Killface band, which I will try to link in the description. So anyway, pause here if you want to see all this, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day. I'll see you soon. Goodbye.